Today we are in part 14 of our course in software project management. Today we will see software release and maintenance. Software lifecycle ends when the software product is released for production. Software maintenance in production can be considered another area separately if it is done independently from software development cycle. But on modern software development projects where iterative models are utilized, software maintenance can coexist with software development. So traditionally, software maintenance used to be separate from software development lifecycle. Uh, when the software used to be released and started being used by users, then if there is a need for any maintenance for removing any defects or providing any enhancement to the software product, then some maintenance project can take place. So that is the traditional way of doing things. Nowadays, software projects are done using agile process models where the product is built incrementally. So that means there will be many versions of the software product over some time. And suppose the project team is working on version 1.6 currently. So that means there will be versions 1.5, 1.4, 1.3, etc. So these versions uh, are also there in the market and can be used by users. So uh, there could be a need to do any changes in the released products versions like say 1.3, and at the same time the project team is working on currently on one on version 1.6. So the same product team can do the maintenance as well as development work. The activities during product release include end user training, product implementation, user manual preparation, etc. So these are the activities done at the time of release. So before the product is released, you need to train the users so that they will be able to use the product. You need to provide user manuals so that there should be some documentation, and then you need to implement the product at the user site so that the users can use. Sometimes some change may take place during this release. For example, suppose before the product is implemented, the before implemented or being used by users, the users do user acceptance testing. So during user acceptance testing, it is found that some part of the product is not working as per user requirements, so that need to be changed. So this change will be done during this release cycle. Software product maintenance has its own life cycle. Periodic maintenance plans are prepared and defects are removed during those periods using software patches. So uh, when maintenance work is taken separately, then in those cases it could be a maintenance project. So during the maintenance project, there will be tasks including the defects analysis and then design or redesign of the product, and then writing source code or changing the source code. So all these activities can take place in a maintenance project. Software maintenance can be of preventive, corrective, or adaptive types. So adaptive type maintenance will be done when a product feature which is being used by users and users find that there will be a better way or some alternative way of doing things. For example, there were too many screen navigations for doing a transaction, and users want to do the complete transaction in just one navigation of the user screen. So they may ask for some change. Similarly, some reports are not as per user requirement, so they may ask to change that report. So even though the product is working fine, but still the thing is the user wants some change. So you can say uh, you need to adapt the product as per user needs. So that is adaptive maintenance. And corrective maintenance is required when there are some defects due to which users are not able to use the product correctly or not able to use some functions of the product at all. So those defects must be removed by taking some corrective maintenance. And preventive maintenance is a, is a is a development work where you need to ensure that even if due to some wrong inputs or some wrong navigation or something some event during use of the product, the product may get crashed. So to crash, or it may lead to say uh, to some means to some unreasonable behavior, or you can say wrong computation. So it is possible to write the source code in such a way that if these things happen, the product should be able to take care of these things and should not crash and and should not provide the wrong output, etc. Instead, the product may provide an informative window to the user, informing that some what went wrong, and the user can then go back and do the work correctly and perform his task, and so there should be no crashes or no wrong things going on. So this is the idea of preventive maintenance. So generally, preventive maintenance is not taken as a separate process. Preventive maintenance is generally done during the development work itself. The project team which is developing the software product already have ideas about these things going wrong. They have been instructed by the end users what they want. So these things they already have in hand this information, and based on this information, they will write source code to take care of these emergencies, and so that when the product is being used by users, it should not crash or work wrongly. Then there is another technique of doing maintenance, which include re-engineering, reverse engineering, and forward engineering. So what are these things? So re-engineering is like you are doing the same thing in the same way. Like there is a software product you have seen, and you want to build a similar software product. So in that case, you study how this product is working, and you create the design, and then you write the source code which and build the product which will be similar to this existing software product. So this is re-engineering. And reverse engineering is you are going back. Generally, sorry, uh, when a software product uh, has needs to be developed based on some existing you can say existing design, and you do not have much idea about the designs, but you need to develop a product which is similar to some existing product. So you need to go back from say how this product is working, the detailed design, and then you go back and create the high level design and the complete design for the software product. So this is a case of reverse engineering. So reverse engineering is something where some legal aspects can also take place, and you need to ensure that whatever is being done is not breaching any legal aspects. And forward engineering is something which is actually similar to developing the software product. You are creating a design and based on the requirements, and then you are writing the source code and then testing the product. So that is forward engineering. You are going in the forward way. So these are the three techniques for maintenance. Then let us discuss release management tasks. What are the tasks when product is released? So one is estimate cost of providing support. So this is important from economic point of view. So you must have some idea how much cost it will take to provide support for the product. So for this, you need to have information about any defects in the product or any difficult task where the users will find it difficult to perform a transaction. So in those cases, the users will take help. They will take support from the support team. So there will be some cost. So so how much cost should be involved in providing support should be should be one aspect about release management. Then selection of software version to be shipped. So which version uh, has to be implemented or shipped to the customer. This is one aspect which is considered during release management, because there there could be many versions of the same product, uh, and which version should actually be implemented to the customer or shipped to the customer. For example, suppose the project team is working with a software product, and some features of the product are very specific to some customers. So these features will not be included in all of the software products. They will be included specifically for the users, for those specific users. So uh, so definitely there will be different versions of the product. So which version should be shipped to which customer should be decided during release management. Then which version uh, should be released uh, in the release during the release phase of the product. So whether it is alpha release or beta release or regular release or any intermediate release. So alpha release is something where the the vendor or the software developer will ship the product free of cost to some potential customers. They will see the product. They may work around they will play with the product, and they may find some defects. So they may provide some feedback to the vendor, and vendor will then fix those problems, and then they can release the regular version. Or if there are too many problems, then vendor may decide to release a beta version. So in the beta version, again, the vendor will ship the product free of cost to the potential users, and again they will use it and find any defects and then provide feedback. And finally, if everything is fine, then a regular release can be done by the vendor. Then create workarounds for known defects. So sometimes uh, the defects, software defects, uh, may not be able to be removed during the development life cycle, because already it is too late. Like say during user acceptance testing, some defect has been found. Now fixing that defect will be difficult. So in that case, the project team may try to find out if there are any alternative ways of doing the same transaction. So, for example, suppose uh, the user wants to do some tax calculation. So, uh, from the order system where the user is doing the order management and then applying the tax calculation. So there is some defect. So there could be other way of calculating the tax, like there is some price of the product, base price, and up to that much is fine, and then uh, the user may provide the tax by manually calculating this product price with that applicable tax, and then providing doing some manual calculation, and then writing that calculated figure on the screen, and then doing his work. So this could be a workaround for the user. So those workarounds should be provided to users so that they will be able to use the product without many problems till the the defect is fixed. Provide training to support staff. So you need to provide training to support staff so that they will be able to provide able to help users if they find any problems. So that support staff should know how to use the products themselves, and how some tasks are performed, so that they will be able to tell the users if the users contact the support staff. Then make customer support strategy. So how you are going to support customers? So if you will be helping the customer through phone, or through email, or through chat, and then if you are providing support uh, in real time, or there will be some time gap. So you need to find out a good strategy, so that you are able to help your users in a good way, in a better way. And there are some release types. So we saw alpha release, beta release. There could be some internal release. There could be normal release. So generally, when a software product is developed and when it is released, so the software developer or vendor can decide what kind of release it should be. So, like we discussed, what is alpha release? Alpha release is something where the vendor is not sure of the quality of the product, and so what the vendor can do is it can make alpha release of the product and ship it to customers free of cost. The customers will use and find if any problems during usage, and they can provide feedback. So this is a good way of testing the product free of cost by the vendor, and at the same time the uh, customer feedback is very valuable for any product. So customer feedback, the vendor can get free of cost. So this is the way to launch a product. First, alpha release. If there are too many defects found in the alpha release, then the vendor can go for beta release as well, and finally it can go for any normal release. And some internal release can also be done, generally, like in case of agile process models, where product is developed incrementally. So there could be some intermediate release, though they are not made available to customers. Still, they are a small release for the development team itself, so that they means they know they have reached this stage, and then they can go for bigger release later. So so this kind of release can be internal. And implementation of the product needs some preparation and some task involved. So one is check software interfaces. So suppose some integration need to be done with some existing system, some third party system, etc. So you need to find out the interfaces so that you can do integration with those systems. And then check hardware interfaces. So some hardware may also need to be integrated. So again, you need to find out the interfaces through which the hardware can be integrated. Then create master data. So master data you need for products like ERP products or some very large enterprise products. So there you need to create some master data. Only then the product can be used. For example, uh, suppose the product which is being implemented is a ERP product, and the warehouse department of the customer will be using it. So the warehouse entities like the warehouse number, then the parts of the warehouse like racks and storage areas, and then the 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 process of how the process of goods will be moving in, and then goods which are moving out of the warehouse. So the layout management. So these things need to be defined in the product. So these are defined through using master data. So when the master data is defined, they created, and it is in place, only then the user will be able to use the product. So creation of master data is involved in such cases. Then some test data is also involved, like you will test the product using some test data. Test data are generally essentially transaction data. So for example, this warehouse system, you will test if some goods which are moving in and they are placed on some racks, and then for some customer orders they need to be moved out. So you create some transactions for all these activities and test if they are working fine. Create user accounts. So you need to create some user accounts also, because the users will be able to, so that the users will be able to use the product. So for example, this warehouse system needs to be managed by users, like there may be some warehouse clerks or uh, the warehouse movers, goods movers, or say the shippers or packers. So all these people should have some account with in the system. Only then they will be able to log in the system and use it. So you need to create user accounts. Check infrastructure for installation. So this is infrastructure is important for large software products, because you need to have large you can say hard disk and large computers and networking facilities, and if if some technologies like uh, wireless technologies need to be deployed. So if so those technologies should be available. So all these infrastructure should be in place, only then the product will work. So you need to provide a checklist if they are available, and only then you can implement. And here are the financial reasons why software maintenance needs to be done. So one is revenue loss. So revenue loss can happen because there is too much support cost, or if uh, you are not able to get suppose due to problems in software product, say the customer is not able to take orders properly, or it takes too much time to take orders, so some orders may be lost because it is taking too much time, so there will be a case of revenue loss. So that this may need this may necessitate for a software maintenance project to be taken. Then opportunity loss. So opportunity loss means, um, n- suppose there is a new market which has developed recently, but the software product cannot be used for this new market. So the software product should adapt so that these new markets, so that the product can also be used for these new markets. So currently it is opportunity loss. So some maintenance will be needed so that you will not lose out. And then productivity loss. So productivity loss means there are too many people needed for doing transactions using the software product. So that means the productivity is low. So you want to increase the productivity so that each user can do more transactions, and so each user will be more productive. So you need to take a maintenance so that the product uh, can be used more productively. Then there are some process models for software maintenance. One is quick fix model. So quick fix model is actually, there is not much process involved. Whenever there is any defect found, it is notified, and the project team fixes that defect immediately. So this is a quick fix model. Then Boehm's model. So Boehm's model is essentially what Boehm's propose for software development needs to be done in spiral fashion. So spiral fashion means there will be uh, each means when starting from requirement management, uh, to ensure the requirements are taken properly, you need to develop a prototype, and then you show it to the users, and if they find this is fine, this prototype is fine, what they're looking for, only then the project team will develop the product as per this prototype. So there is a risk averse system. You are taking care of this risk. So you need to start from this prototyping. You develop the prototype, show it to customer, get the feedback, then re redesign or redevelop the prototype, or then you again show it to customer. So you keep going on in this fashion. So it is spiral. These activities are spiral in nature. So finally, you arrive at a point where you are sure that now all the requirements of the users are well known, and product can be developed now. So uh, same can be applied for maintenance project. So in the maintenance project, the defects are discussed, they are evaluated, they are analyzed, and discussed with the customer how uh, it is affecting them, and how they want the system to work. So all these activities can be done in spiral model. So that is how the Boehm's model works. Then Osborne's model. So Osborne's model is more like, you can say, what we discussed about preventive method of maintenance. So you already know that some if something goes wrong in the system, some event occurs which can make the system crash or something. So you provide a mechanism so that the system should not crash. So Osborne's model is very similar. It states that the maintenance work is not done in isolation. It should be a part of the development work itself. So uh, basically the maintenance work is known during the development activities themselves. So Osborne's model is very similar to what we discussed about preventive model. Iterative enhancement model. Enhancement model. Iterative enhancement model is for agile projects. So uh, you need enhancement to be done in the product, or you can say you want to build the product incrementally. So you are doing the development work in this fashion by building the product incrementally. The same can be said about the maintenance work. So the product is basically, you can say, evolving. The evolution is taking place in the product. So how evolution is taking place? One release is made in the product, and users use it, and they find some additional features which need to be added in the product. So these new features will be taken as a maintenance project. They will be developed and added in the existing product, and then users will use it. So this evolution process keeps going on, and this is the enhancement model for iterative projects. Reuse oriented model. So you need to reuse uh, source code, or say some component uh, in all your maintenance work. So what you can do is, there should be a good documentation about the libraries available, and the components available, and what those components do, and how those can be used. So this information is available to the maintenance project team, and they, instead of writing fresh source code, they will take this existing functionality, the existing libraries, and they may add additional source code in these classes, or just call those libraries in their mm, new code. So this means they will be reusing what was available already. And here is the maintenance life cycle. So first of all, you need to create a list of defects which need to be uh, fixed, and out of this list, which defects actually should be fixed in this present uh, maintenance project. So there it should be a subset of defects. So this you need to define. Then you need to provide a defect fixing planning execution. So you need to provide a planning for fixing. So writing the design, creating the design or redesign, and then writing the source code, and then you create the patch which will solve these, which will remove these defects. So this patch is developed, and then you test the application if applying this patch will remove the defect or not. And once this is tests are passed, that means the maintenance is good, and so the project will be completed. And the re-engineering, forward engineering, reverse engineering, we already discussed previously. So in re-engineering, you, you are creating a software product which is very similar to some existing product. So this is re-engineering because the same engineering you are applying again. In forward engineering, you are creating a design and then writing the source code and then testing. So like how the development software is developed. So in the same fashion, you can maintain a software product. Like for example, there is some enhancement need to be done in the software product. So for this enhancement, what product features should be developed? So you will design those, design the, so you will create the design for these product features, and then you write the source code. So this will be forward engineering. And reverse engineering is something like you have a software product and you you are seeing the software product, it is in its finished shape, means it is running and you have seen. Now you need to study how it functions, what are the features, and from there you create the software design, and then the complete software design including the lowest level components. So that means you are going back. So that is why it is reverse engineering. So this was all about software release and maintenance. Thanks for your time and bye for now.